Hi everyone, welcome to our treasure home Monday Night Live. So today I sat there and earlier Sunday I was in there thinking, what is a good topic to talk about? So it says bowl, but that's a jar. So a bowl, a jar, whatever you may have. I'll make sure I'm live. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just wondering, we carry so many plates, bowls, less you name it. So I'm wondering what's in your bowl because I have several we call props to show y'all to see what we're going to do. Hi, Rebecca. How are you? So a lot of people have many hats that we wear and everything. So tonight I changed it up. What's in your bowl? So things I had in the description was like food, yarn, all kinds of stuff. There's some things I'm waiting to later to talk about. So, some of the things that are in my bowl is crochet. I don't know how to knit. I would love to learn how to knit, but this is what I'm working on this time. It's going to be a scarf, of course. A scarf, a scarf, a scarf. So, here is the scarf. There we go. Let me turn my brightness down. There we go. There we can see all the colors. It's orange and reds and browns and all. So we got yarn and I'm trying to use it up. So that's what I was been working on for the last couple of days. And it's not long enough yet, but it's getting there. So yarn is definitely in my bowl among all kinds of things that, come along with life and everything. So, some other things that I like to do or in my bowl of things is studying the Bible. So I have a lot of Joseph Prince books. I have 2 Bibles over there. I have the King James Version and the Amplified Version because some of those these and thous and this, that, and the others, I do not understand. Hey, Jane Doe, how are you? I don't understand, so sometimes when it's put into plain English, hey, Joy and Donnie, I can understand a whole lot better. And I have learned so much from listening. I listen to more than just Joseph Prince, but he's kind of like one of the main ones. So, just find someone who teaches Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. And the way to heaven is through salvation through Jesus Christ, what he did on the cross and rose again from the grave for your salvation. Is grounded in that. And hey, Luann, thank you for coming. Say, hey, Alfonso. So, yes, this is in my bowl, along with so many other books that are in my bowl to read. So, but one of my favorite books of all times. And I got this for Christmas one year. And I have read some of it, but I like to get back to reading a lot more. And hey, Angel the Husky. And this is Sherlock Holmes. So, I don't know if it looks backwards to you or not. We haven't figured out that stuff yet. But Sherlock Holmes is one of my favorite things to read. I just love how the detective stuff, how he does everything, how Sir Arthur Conan Doyle sit there and write the little details that people miss all the time and everything. So those are some books. So some other books that are in my bowl will keep the crafts going. All right, so is cross stitch. I like to cross stitch. And I did do, let me see here. See. All right, on the back here, this A, that's the bear. I did that for Anastasia. It's the little one. She wants the big one done. So I'll be working on that. So there's another one that's in my bowl. And then, of course, y'all know cooking has to be there. Whoops, the book's upside down. The cooking and the cookies. And yeah, this all looks so good. I'm like, so I had to go through what I've marked here and make sure I got the ingredients so I can start doing these cookies and everything. So, and then, you know, other things that might be in your bowl that you like to do or you've got figuring out and everything. As I stay on the craft stuff. I do candles. Well, working on these because I still haven't figured out about the wick and the burning and everything. So this is on the back burner of everything else because this just is. So, with the crafts and the crochet and the cross stitch and then the cooking and the reading and the study and just to enjoy a good book and sit back and relax and read that good book. And then y'all know a lot of stuff, other things that I've got going on in the bowl is my health. So the nettle and making my own stuff. So I'll probably put this into a short dot. Here is a hint, a tip, however you may want to call it. When you have directions on a bottle to tell you how to take something, do the directions. Because the directions read, for adults, take 1 teaspoon daily. This product is highly concentrated, contains no added preservatives, flavors, or sweeteners, and has a very strong taste. To help mask the concentrated mineral flavor, mix the 1 teaspoon serving size can be mixed with juice or food and spread throughout the day. So, more than one cookbook in a bowl. You got that right too, because they're all down there. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Luann. There's a bread one and the dessert one and the main dish one and then the side dishes and the crock pot one. And the list goes on and on. So, I was on the phone with Joy when I took this first one. And oh my goodness, I thought she was going to laugh so hard because if y'all could have saw my face. I think it was Joy. Yeah, should have been. Oh my goodness. I can tell you this. It needs to be mixed with something because it does taste really not so good. So other things, and I'm going back and forth between crafts and stuff and everything because I'm trying to, I don't have to get to the good stuff just yet. So other things that might be in your bowl that people like to do is sewing. So I took this fabric and I cut it and made, I'll go there and get it, binding for Anastasia's blanket. Well, the funny thing about that, they say measure twice, cut once. Well, as much as I did, as I tried to measure correctly, I ended up with more binding than I needed. So I'm like, well, this can be used on something else I make for Anastasia. So I've got those projects in the back of my mind here, I'm like, okay. And I've got sewing patterns over there that I want to work on too. So, and then other things that I really can't show you because I don't have a physical copy of it is my cookbook. And I am still trying to get that to where I can just make it myself and then take it to well, we don't have Staples around here anymore, Home Depot or something or another, and have one printed off. Hey, Donnie. So that's another thing in my bowl. And I am working on another book, and it's not a cookbook. And I will leave that like that. Joy. It's too funny. So I got that going on. I used to make jewelry. I haven't done that in a while. I did that a couple of years ago. I made some clip-on earrings, and I got some post earrings, and I got some dangle earrings and everything. So I might make a page and try to sell that again. I don't know. That's kind of like just a fun thing to do. I always have projects. So the another thing that's in your bowl could be your garden, and I have to go to the channel to look at the garden. But I need to do another update because my cucumber was like only this tall, but it had 3 yellow flowers. Now it's this tall, so I was like, oh, that's just so cool. All the blooms on my tomatoes, they're still there. They're little yellow blooms, but I've got to look to see if there's tomatoes there now. The peppers are doing really well. My corn, he kind of died. I don't, poor thing. So I think it was just the heat, and I kept watering, but I don't know. But I did replant in the planter that had the radishes, and there were a mammoth. Got the type something mammoth radish. So, but they only got that long, but that's okay. So, in that planter has the bush beans, which is only that tall, but that's okay. It's about like 12, maybe 12 inches. But I went ahead and planted some corn, some squash, and another bush bean we call the Three Sisters because they help each other grow. So I was like, okay, we're going to get this going. My onions are doing well and everything. So I'm just like super excited because I out the door window and it's just peek and see because it's so hot outside. I was like, oh my goodness. You made earrings long ago. Awesome. Yeah, I did that when I was in Missouri and they didn't sell. I would sell a pair here and there. So I've tried giving all the jewelry stuff away. Nobody wanted it. So I was like, the Lord just said, keep it. I'm like, okay. So then we had a craft sale with a few other people about 2-3 years ago. And that didn't pan out either. So I was just like, okay, so that's still to the side. I shared you on the stream in case. Oh, awesome. Joy, thank you so much. You get the beauty sleep for work. Wait a minute. 1, 2 o'clock. It's time to go to bed. Debating if you want a fall garden. I know because I'm just like, I think I'm going to because I would like to plant some pumpkins. Now I have pumpkin seeds that would have the big regular pumpkins, but I can't really quote unquote plant viney plants. So I'm looking at getting some Jack B. Little pumpkins, the little small ones. But I do have sugar pie pumpkin seeds. I think that should work too, as long as I keep them planted here in the back and not up front. So, yeah, a garden is in your bowl because that's you mix it up, you know, take paper, write down what you're going to do that day, and just pull that piece of paper out. I've tried making a chart. I've taken notes of paper, but go online and divide Monday, Sunday through Saturday. I have a calendar. I've done the same thing too. I don't keep up with that. Just like so. Here lately, I've gotten to where I was like, okay, I've got to keep myself on a track, on an organized, a little bit more than what I used to do. Because as y'all know now, I have 2 channels. I have I Treasure Home, and I'm doing cooking dairy free and alpha-gal with Nancy. So the food is going to be over there. So, and then everything else is on our Treasure Home, like product reviews, my affiliates and everything. Um, I've got over 3,000 subscribers, so thank you all who are new here. I appreciate y'all being here. We have lots of fun. There's lots of things always going on. So hi to my TV watchers and all out there. And laugh and laugh and laugh. That's right. Sometimes happy people like to talk late with each other. Oh, goodness. Yes, that's so true. That's so true. Last couple of weeks, I made a list of recipes I want to do each week. Don't always get them done. Yeah. But you know what? I've learned a secret. And here's the secret. When you make a to-do list, and let me see if I can find one of mine. All right. I'm going to try. All right. So this is like for anyway, we're going to show you. That was somebody's address, and I don't think that person will appreciate. So you make a to-do list like this. I don't like Monday, do list. Tuesday, do list. I say things to do and then make a list. And if I get some of those done on Monday, then that gets checked off. Then if they get done on Tuesday, that gets checked off. And then if they get some done on Wednesday, that gets checked off. That way I don't feel pressured to have everything done that needs to be done on Monday. It is for the whole week. And then I check off what I get done every day. And I find that doing that way, most of the stuff gets done. Thank you. Thank you. I'm super excited because, 6 years is coming up in November. So there may be a surprise celebration coming up with, the subscriber count and 6-year anniversary. That's hard to believe. And then all the silences and everything. So other things that could be in your bowl is health. You get to go into the doctor and making sure everything's a-okay. I don't like going to the doctor. I don't think anybody does. And I was an EMT, and we didn't like going to, doctors and nurses and medical personnel, the worst patients, because we know and everything. So, it's like I've been 15 minutes already. All right, so other things that could be in your bowl. Working on things, building things. This is a video that's coming out on our Treasure Home. And I explain that I am not mechanically inclined on knowing how to wire things like that. So, the people will be getting an email about that because it's like, they don't know how to do that. So they just will have to be accepting of the video that I made. And then, one thing in your bowl, always make time to rest and relax. Family, exactly. Family is important in your bowl. Taking time to sit back, watch a good TV show, scoot that computer away for a little while and just enjoy it. And just being by yourself or just enjoy the peace and quiet or doing something, with your significant other or in family. We all need those little times of, this is hilarious because they think, oh, you get your time to yourself. I'm like, don't you haven't learned yet? I learned how to do that a long time ago. When my son, them growing up, bedtime was 9 o'clock, whether they went to sleep or not. Bedtime was 9 o'clock. They went in their room, closed the door, 9 o'clock. Yes, there were times they did have a TV in their room sometimes, but they had their video games. So yeah, they had a TV, but they had the video games and everything. I was like, it doesn't matter if you went to sleep or not. It was unless we had a TV show we all liked to watch because 9, 10, and then the summertime it was like. So by the time my son was 11, probably 10, 11 o'clock at night, something like upstairs. Summertime, it was just like go to bed whenever, but always, we've always done that. They do their thing, I do my thing, and we have fun to go out to the park and all. So that's been that's in your bowl too. Just make time to and it's okay. Hey Kim, you're welcome. Oh, I believe it. So making that time, one thing in your bowl is time for, time for family and balance time to, just for yourself. Whether it's, a walk, read a book, and if you watch something on YouTube, that's good too. And hey, Marichu B. I think I know how you say your name, but I can't even say it. Welcome, welcome. So, it's on the bowl this week. Well, what happens to my hands is now in the crease of my arms. So now it's gone. Oh, it's still here in my eye when I have a flare. So now it's here. So one thing else I have learned in this last week, few months, whatever, one thing in your bowl. Sometimes the Lord sits there and leads you down the path, even though they don't like doctors. But maybe that doctor has the answer that you've been looking for because, yes, the Lord can do a miraculous healing. He can just, heal. And I've seen that happen. But sometimes maybe He takes you down a different path so you can be a testimony of how faithful He is through all that time, just like He did with my heart. For 40 years, I had fainting issues, passing out, things that would, that would happen and everything, and nobody would look or, excuse, I'm a female, and that's this thing and this thing and that thing and whatever, and, come to find out, I needed a pacemaker. So the Lord used all those up and downs as a testimony that He is faithful through it all. So I had just sat there and told my daughter-in-law a few weeks ago when I had not eaten anything, nothing to flare it up. And it's like 100 degrees outside. And my son goes, it's the weather. He goes, there's nothing else. We're so careful. I say, I know. So it was a weekend. I looked at her. I said, I was really like, no shots. I'm not going to do no shots. And the allergist was talking about immunology therapy. And I was thinking, I've really been thinking that here lately because I'm really sick and tired of all this going on. So I called today and make an appointment. So I want to see what it's all about because maybe that's what the Lord says. Not all things from the doctor are bad. Some things we may need. So that's one thing that's in my bowl to go see the allergist to talk about because this is getting ridiculous. I'm fed up. I'm like, I've done everything else. And the old allergist, all she told me to do was take Allegra or uh, Zyrtec. And I'm just like, that doesn't help. And it just doesn't help at all. So I'm just like, okay. So, all right, Lord. And I'm telling you, that I've been watching on directions and everything keeps coming up. And I was like, just like he did with the talking about visceral fat and everything, like third time. And like, this is the third time. I'm like, okay, I'm not saying make the call to the allergist because I forgot all last week. So I did that. Um, yeah, I did call a chiropractor, but they want $300 up front for x-rays and new patient. I'm like, I don't think so. Before they send it to the insurance, I'm like, no, that's good. I'm good. Thank you very much for that information. So we'll see. Um, I will tell you, and this is only been a week. I've been taking the magnesium drops. Now this is the 400. And like I said, it does not taste good. If it says to mix it with something, it means to mix it with something. Because they're like, oh my gosh, it was awful. It was so awful. So yeah, I've been putting it in my tea. I've tried to mix it with all kinds of stuff, but I have noticed a difference, especially at nighttime, because the pain down my hip and down my leg is it's still there, but it's not as much. And I'm able to relax and sleep all night. So it's like, oh, that's so cool. When y'all know the health issues and you're up 2 or 3 times a night trying to get situated. So because this hurts and that hurts, so that helps. That helps a lot. And I'm just like, it's unbelievable. The difference. And I know that my body does not have the nutrients and stuff that it needs. So that's part of the bowl and mixing up things and making it all work. Okay, so here, let's see, what's in the bowl next? Because I talked about crochet. I have finished that other sweater. I haven't sewn it together yet, but all the panels are done. The back panel, the two front panels, and the arm sleeves are done. I'll just have to put it all together. So I'll show you all that next week because I just haven't done it. So I was like, all right. So the yarn, the sewing, the books, the crafts I've talked about. So the next thing in the bowl is food. So we have some cabbage here. Now Anastasia likes cabbage raw. She doesn't like it cooked or anything like that. So she only ate a little bit that tonight. So I'm like, that's okay. So I am going to give y'all some sneak peeks. But I ain't going to tell you how I did it because you're going to have to go to the other channel. So today, and I made the video, who doesn't love homemade coleslaw? So, that looks so good. I made homemade coleslaw because I've been wanting this stuff so much. And when when I was in Gatlinburg with Joy and Donnie, we went to Shoney's. And she was just should have picked something else instead of Shoney's. They changed how they made things so much. And I was like, oh yeah. Because I remember how the coleslaw tasted and the chicken salad and the three bean salad and everything. And then it's like nothing compared to what it used to be. So I was like, I am making my own tonight. And I did. So yes, it smells good. Mm. Oh, it's so good. I love it. They don't like the smell of it, so I say there you go. The man loves coleslaw 7,097,000%. There we go. So that's one thing. No, that's two things. So the next thing that's in my bowl. So we have Wonder Woman who is helping us out tonight. And that song, I'm just showing in the process of making homemade sauerkraut. And yes, I chopped this up really fine. But you know what? It's my sauerkraut. Because I'm the only one that eats it. Yep, my hip. It's sore. Alrighty. So, in your bowl, you have lots of things. And we can do it. You can do it. I can do it. We just learn to sit there and take our time. Not everything always has to be in a rush. There's some things that can be. But, we all have the same amount of time. And I've heard this before. You got 24 hours, 7 days a week. Yeah, but you know what? We also need that time to sleep because God didn't make us to sit there and stay awake for 48 hours or so. Now, I know some people who can, and I hand it to the military people who can do that because this girl cannot. Even when I did security, the longest I was up straight was 16 hours. Let's see here. Because we worked 12-hour shifts. And then I worked, actually it was 8 hour, 10:30 to 6:30, but I stayed over because the first shift people couldn't get there in time. It was snow and ice. And so I didn't get home till 9:30. And we were living with my sister at the time. Anyway, and I went upstairs and I sat on my bed. I said, I'll just lay here for a few minutes before I take, change and everything else. And here she comes at 9 o'clock at night, waking me up. I was still in my uniform. I fell asleep in my uniform. And she goes, you could be late for work. And I was like, no, I'm not. It's just 10 o'clock. I thought it was like, it's still in the morning. She goes, you done slept all day long. I jumped up. I was like, oh my goodness. And so, and I was 30 something. No, yeah, 20. That was back in 1998. 30, almost 30. And so, back then I could, but now, I probably could if I had to. We have done a 24-hour live, so I take that back. But that was like 3 years ago. That's when I got my 1K subscribers. And then I got monetized. So we did those things. So, Could I do another 24-hour live? I don't know if I could or not. That would have to be really planned out, because between the cooking and my son coming home from work and all that, I have to divide that up. I don't know. Take a nap in between. You know? So I had that one time in my nightbot. It was a question. Oh, I love coleslaw. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Fried cabbage. You name it. Have I ever tried pickle lily? I have not, but I know that's good. I would love to try some of that stuff. Um, my aunts used to make chow chow, homemade chow. Hey Heather, how you doing? My dad's sister made homemade chow chow. I miss that so much. I've been trying to find a good recipe for homemade chow chow. I was like, oh my goodness. Um, and then I was like, what was I thinking? Ooh, you're moving horses. Oh, you're fine. It's okay. Like, that's one thing that's in your bowl that you got to do is move horses around and everything, make sure they're okay and everything. So it's like, instead of like what's in your hat, I'm using what's in your bowl. And you can go back and like see some homemade coleslaw. I made some homemade coleslaw. Oh, did y'all hear that twang in there? That's in one of the videos on the cooking channel, and I just got the biggest kick out. And I was like, homemade coleslaw, and I was like, oh goodness, that Southern just came out. I am not from Ohio. And then when I moved to South Carolina, they claimed I was a Northerner, and I'm like, okay, awesome. Awesome. If you do a video about how to make it, I will sit there and do a video about your recipe. My mom used to make piccolo. Oh goodness, that sounds so good. So when I did South Carolina, they said I was a northerner. I said Virginia is not a northern state. I said y'all need to go look up your history or go look at, what the southern states were. So then when I went to my son and I, we went to visit New York, and we stayed on Ellis Island. Oh boy, we walked into KB Toys, and we were getting some toys and stuff. Oh, I know you got a good recipe. Your grandma made it all the time, and West Coaster here lost. Could someone tell Heather what piccalilli is? It's similar to coleslaw. That's all I know. Chow chow. Um, so we're and they're talking, New York. I could do a Jersey accent because I'm from Jersey. To go welcome to the Boston Marathon tonight. And then it's so funny because when Lori Prepping for Heavens on, and I want to put her panel, she's from Maine and everything, and it just came right on out. She got the biggest kick out of that. But they're like, "You're not from here." I'm like, "No, I'm from Virginia." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we can tell that Southern accent." We had the best time. And so and sometimes it still comes out. I mean, I grew up in Virginia, that's the way we talk, the slang and different things and all. And then when I was in Gatlinburg, it was like, okay, I heard the accent, and I'm like, that's a deeper Southern accent than what Virginia is. It's a type of relish made with cabbage. Mm. Yes. Oh my goodness. And you can make it hot. And you can make it sweet. Now, the chow chow that my aunts used to make was sweet. They didn't make it hot with hot peppers or anything like that. So it was just like we have going towards Chillicothe. There's a farm stand that's a Amish, because I say Amish, but it's Amish. I get corrected all the time. And they had chow chow there. Theirs are hot, and I'm just like, ooh, oh, I want to learn how to make my own again and everything. So we talked about what's in your bowl, and I would crafts like sewing, crocheting, knitting, because Rebecca knits, and I know other people knit also. Then we had candle making, if you like the homemade stuff like this. And then, you can make like your own lotions and lip balm. I've done that. And I've got the shea butter over there. And like I said, I just get busy and then I feel to use this lotion. I go, easy, you got the stuff over there to make your own lotion again. Yeah, they never made it hot either. It's like it was a sweet relish type thing. It was so good. Then, my dad's parents were from Hungary and Czechoslovakia, so they, all that good sweet stuff, the strudel, and we call some call them wedding cookies, some call angel wings. Put that powdered sugar on it. And see, this is why I like this cookbook, because, and then we have cooking in our bowl, because what is this one? This one right here, and there is another one, and it's on another cookbook. And then the Biscuit cookbook has when you make the it's like a crumb type thing, then you put the jelly there, and then you put the top on it. My aunt had that, but she made it with the dough on top and made it cross, like a lattice type of work on it. Oh my goodness, it was so good. The stuff they made from scratch. I had those recipes at one time, and I have no idea what happened to them. But I was like, and there's difference between American goulash and Hungarian goulash, and I still cannot find a recipe online for the Hungarian goulash whatsoever. I mean, my grandma made Campbell's canned soup. I believe it. Yeah, they used to make all that by scratch. Oh, I love this cookie collection book. Oh my goodness. We did the pinwheels, and the feed videos are here on our treasure home. They're staying there. I'm not moving them. Um, the cooking dairy free and alpha with Nancy. I will be doing some cookie videos and different things and everything. I've done some bread videos. Some I'll just redo over again on that channel and just name it something else. Because I don't feel like dealing with YouTube and copyright this and copyright that, and it's my own video, so I think I'm quite clear that I can redo my own video. Not by scratch from the can, but it's easy to, it used to be easy to do. I'll read, the cream of mushrooms. I love cream of mushroom soup. That was my favorite. So, you never know. I don't know. Oh, and going to the doctor's in the bowl, because, my son goes, oh, that's from sweating. I'm like, this is not from sweating. So it was on my hands, it was on my eyes, and now it's in the bends of my elbows. And yes, I've been outside with the garden, and that's in the bowl too, and moving things and mixing things around. So it could be, allergies and stuff. So the doctor's in the bowl. because I'm going to the allergist. Because I'm like, sometimes, like I was telling everybody else, Heather, you didn't hear, the Lord has you go from point A to D, zigga zagga, zigga zagga. It's not always sometimes a straight way to it, but He wants you to go around and up and down and everything so that we can build each other up and be a testimony that He's faithful in the valley and He's faithful on the mountain and then back in the valley again, because sometimes an answer could be from the doctor. So I'm going to go talk to them about immunology. I say, I was thinking, say it. Shots. Therapy. It's not shots. It's therapy. Because, we just, some things might need a little medical attention. Just like my heart. So, yes, it's working fantastic. I had to switch to doctor's appointment. I go in August for my year checkup, and they check the device and everything and see how it's going. So March was the last time this talked to the phone and sent the message to the doctors, and they read everything as everything was good. So I'm like, got me on the TV. Donnie is cooking dinner. Like, ooh, I wonder what Donnie is cooking. I've seen some of the stuff he makes. He makes some delicious meals. Oh, goodness. All right, Luann, you have a good night. On the big screen. La. I have a top hat. Oh, goodness. I was going to sing a song, but I'm like, wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna do it together. So, yeah, do y'all know what movie that's from? Donnie can listen and with you on the TV. All right, good deal. God on the mountains is still God in the valley. That's right. Amen. I know that song. If it wasn't for the valleys, we wouldn't appreciate the mountain. Exactly. So, and I don't remember what musical that's from. I don't think it's Annie. Come on. Oh, that was so funny. Because today they went grocery shopping. Anastasia stay home. She don't like the heat. She does not like the heat whatsoever. So I'm calling her down. She's not listening. People are cooking and I'm already in bed. Hi, Douglas. So I'm singing her name to her and everything. And so she finally comes to the top of the steps. And I'm just singing her name and all kinds of fun stuff and everything else. She goes, "Are you drunk?" I was like, "No." All right, what you making, Heather? She is making chicken on the barbecue. Ooh, mashed gravy. Oh, green beans. Heather, I'm coming over. As soon as I get this stuff taken care of, because, I kind of miss having paprika myself and peppers and, and tomatoes. But, like I said, when I go to the allergist, I'm going to talk to him about it, because I'm going to tell him about the fibromyalgia and everything and, get that. It may take a long while on the wagon train to get there. Because I have to take the Oregon Trail. Yeah, because I don't have those real ID, which I'm good. Because I ain't going back to where I need to go get my marriage license, because they can just keep it. and everything. So check your pockets. Say what's in the pockets. Ain't nothing in the pockets. Nothing in the pockets. Okay, I got a story for y'all. So, last week they took Anastasia to an allergist. She got a different allergist, and I was looking for. This is my mother slash grandmother's ring. So that's what they got me 10 years ago. So I had some. Excuse me. I had my jeans on. Well, they took the trash out and they told Anastasia to wait and everything. So Anastasia and I was sitting here. She's sitting over there. I'm like, where is my ring? Because I take it off. And I set it here on the table. I'm like, where is my ring? I mean, I have moved things. I moved everything from that side to that side and back and forth. I looked down the floor, around the chair, pull the tablecloth out. I'm looking everywhere. I have looked in the pockets. I had these pants. I had my jeans. I looked in the pockets. I'm doing this and everything else. I even pulled the pockets out like this. I don't know. It was not in those jeans. Well, in some pockets, like in your jeans, has this little part that kind of gets all, it kind of like goes up into the pocket right there. Well, they've been gone for an hour, and I'm like, where is that ring? I'm not happy because I'm sitting and spitting and sputtering and everything, and I'm talking to the Lord. I'm like, I said, this is really crazy. I know where that ring was at. I said, I reached in my pocket, and guess where it was? In the pocket of my jeans, stuck up in a corner part. I'm like, no way. I said, because I've already checked that. I'm like, Lord, why did you put it back in my pocket? Because I had said some things I probably said about I shouldn't have said. And I'm like, okay. I'm sorry, Lord. I repented really quick because I was like blaming somebody for moving something that they didn't move at all. But I'm telling you, it was not in that pocket whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, it's in that pocket. So it's like, that's, we have to step back sometimes. And even though people, our family members act a certain way all the time, we know how people are. Stop and, pause, okay? Even though they have this trait, maybe, if they didn't do anything. Anastasia likes hiding our stuff too, so, but I'm just like, okay. So when I found the ring, I think the Lord was just trying to teach me a lesson right there. Give a little grace. And I'm just like, I didn't know. I was just like, okay, Lord, I apologized and repented for saying what I said. And I'm just like, okay, they're going through something I don't know. And I can't tell you, but I can't tell you. Let's put it this way. We're hoping in a year Anastasia will be able to have regular dairy. So they're going through the process and everything. So just praying that everything's going fine. Just everything's going fine. So it's like, that would be so awesome for her to have regular chocolate, Three Musketeers, Snickers, all kinds of good stuff. I was sitting talking about the candy, pizza rolls, donuts. Donuts are made with milk. Regular mac and cheese. Can anybody say woohoo? Mac and cheese? Yes, probably. Cheese is regular cheese and the dairy-free cheese. They're almost similar prices, but some things are still, the dairy-free stuff is still kind of out there and everything, because we don't buy it as much because the prices of that goes up all the time. So it's like, okay, so we can get her going and everything, and then I'm gonna get myself going and everything. So those are things that are in the bowl. The bowl can get bigger. The bowl gets bigger, and the bowl gets bigger. But some bowls are small, so you start off with the small one first, and then work yourself up. Cheese, brie, and parmesan, and mustard, and let's see here, Gouda. Mm, all those cheeses that we can have, and chocolate milk. Well, we actually do make chocolate milk with the almond milk, but regular chocolate milk, that's reads something different. And pudding made with regular milk, and then that's another thing. It's gonna be a year, so it's the one step at a time, and everything. So I'll still be doing cooking dairy free and alpha-gal because you know for me, I don't know yet. I mean, the test of two different doctors, two separate tests. Well, two different doctors, but the same test from same lab. But it's still, I don't know. So when I go to the they make all right. So yeah, and enchiladas, tacos. So they're having taco tomorrow night, both vegan cheese. So they're having spaghetti last week, and she got my daughter-in-law goes, "You trying spaghetti?" I said no, because now I got this breaking out. I don't know what it is. So I was like, twiddling my thumbs, trying to rack my brain to figure out what did I eat, something new I'm taking. I've looked at the ingredients on this and the vitamin D. There's nothing for me to have a reaction whatsoever. Concentrated water from Great Salt Lake in Utah. And no different than the Celtic salt I've got up there. So I was like, y'all sour cream. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Y'all go price some of the stuff. Go price the Kite Hill sour cream and compare it to the Daisy sour cream. It's like really unbelievable. The prices of the dairy free, the vegan stuff is. And it's like, but it's always been that way. I know I have a cousin that had to eat certain ways that, growing up, but then nobody sit there and told us that because she had food allergies or anything like that. It was just because like she wanted to eat. And I was like, I don't think so. So, we thought it was expensive, back in the 80s. Much less now. Have a good night, Kim. So, it would be so much easier on the grocery bill for all of us to eat that way. But, until she gets that big dose and everything, she's doing great. She is doing really great and everything. So I'm going to start, like I said, next week I go to allergist, and I'm going to sit down and chat with him and everything and figure out what's going on. Like I said, they've done all the tests. It's not peanuts, it's not soy, so it's not milk, it's not the meat, it's something else. So we're going to figure out what it is, because it was like this right here, the wrist botches here, and then right here, and then itching. And I'm like, okay, this, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. Because I still want to go to Smith & Sons in Gatlinburg. And then, maybe after the first of the year, we're working on it, because there's some places that have the BOGO. Yeah, definitely. Buy one, get one. So I was like, buy a lunch, take it back to the hotel, and have a nice dinner with the free one. That'd be really good and everything. So, yeah. And this itches. I don't like it. See, that's what I'm thinking too. It could be that also, Joy. You know, because like I was saying last week, I know for a fact my body does not absorb vitamin D from the sun. I have to take a supplement for it. So, those are the things that are in my bowl. And I know everybody has something different, some of the similar things and everything. Just like Heather, they've got a farm and everything, so they've got animals that they have to, work with and everything. So that's a big bowl right there, a big bowl and everything. So I want to thank everybody coming. Thank you for the TV watchers, the people here in the chat, those who will watch the replay and everything. And, give a special little cake in the comments or the description. Well, not this, and in the comments after the live. So, and I just want to thank y'all for coming next week. You just never know what I might talk about. But I would say Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Now, shall, and I've heard will. So everybody, it's the same thing. And we just seek the Lord first. So thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for being here. I've enjoyed chatting. I hope y'all have learned something. I try to teach y'all something every week. Have some fun, some laughs and everything. Because sometimes you just have to laugh. So y'all have a wonderful and blessed night. And we'll see you next time on I Treasure Home.